The Grand Ole Opry is produced through the facilities of WSM Radio in Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, hello out there. All right, so for those of you that haven't yet, make sure you go to circleallaccess.com. Go on that Opry Extras banner and click register and watch so you can join us just like everybody that is out here. Oh my word, what a feeling it is. It is just, the energy in the room tonight is so amazing. We are so thankful that we are all moving in the right direction. And this audience has been incredible tonight. I'm so glad the show's not over and we still have more to come for you guys. It's very, very exciting that sweet Terri Clark is going to be hanging out with us. We got a lot to talk about with this lady. I was trying to remember the last time that I saw her. I think we were standing right outside the baggage claim in Seattle. We were both playing a show, but we weren't playing a show together, but we ran into each other. All of the musicians we're pretty conspicuous at the airport. Everybody's got all their gear and pulling everything off the baggage claim. People usually know the musicians in the airport, but it's so good to see her. She is such a delightful human being and so wonderful to talk to, so I know that this is gonna be extra special. Thank goodness we were able to open up and have you guys here tonight, because it would be kind of, you know, a sad birthday party if nobody was here. It would be very fitting for 2020, but I'm glad to know that we are, you know, getting back to normal just a little bit at a time. It's pretty amazing. I'm very excited to talk to Miss Terri Clark tonight about her new Christmas album. Just came out. It just came out at the end of September, so it's going to be really fun to talk about that. I just worked on one myself with Runaway June, and so it's always funny when you're having to record Christmas music because it usually doesn't happen any time around the holidays. So I'm excited to hear what she got up to get into the spirit, although if she's anything like me, it doesn't take much. As soon as you start singing Christmas songs, you are back in the cheerful spirit of Christmas time. Everything just feels right in the world when you're singing Christmas music. So it's going to be amazing to talk to her about that. And, I just got the cue. I get to go to the stage now. All right. I'm going to talk to Miss Terri Clark, looking so beautiful and sparkly, just like one should at the Grand Ole Opry. Sparkly. Love that jacket.
I don't always go sparkly, but I knew Lori was coming tonight, so I had to rival some sparkle.
You're so right about that. It's funny. You know, Miss Lori Morgan's always going to have some sparkles on. So you talked about it a little bit on stage, but I mean, how amazing was it to have people? Was this your first show since everything has shut down with an audience in the room?
It is. And it, you know, I didn't know what I was going to feel. I knew I'd feel some sort of emotion, but just when you spend 25 years on the road, never unpacking your suitcase.
Right.
And I have been touring nonstop for 25 years, regardless of the people on Facebook who ask me where I've been. I haven't left the road.
You can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah, it's definitely uncharted territory, having all this free time on my hands. And but being back in front of a live audience, Vince put it the best tonight because he said, playing in front of in a room with no audience is really having a one-sided conversation. We are here to connect with people. That's what music is all about, the connection between an audience and the artist. And to me, we're all one person. You know, when I'm singing, I could be out there watching, and I'm a fan too. So it's just brought everything into full circle, pun intended. What we started doing this for, and it kind of felt like I did the first time that I played for a live audience was an elementary school talent contest, and it was a take on the Gong Show. Do you guys remember the Gong Show from the 70s? And when I didn't get gonged, I knew this was for me. But you know, tonight walking out and seeing all of you, and you're looking like you're all going into surgery. Or robbing a bank. I'm not really sure which it is.
One or the other.
But, you know, seeing you kind of had that same feeling for me. It was like my first experience in front of a live audience feels like that tonight a little bit all over again.
Yeah, it's funny because it almost, even with the Opry band having the masks on and stuff, it is funny, but I hadn't really took look at you guys, and it is funny seeing all of the masks out there. It is a good feeling, though. We really appreciate you guys partaking and doing your part so that we can have you here tonight. I mean, it's amazing. And something that you said when you were talking about that first time, because you were part of, I think it was the third show with no audience here. Yeah. So strange. And you're not the first person to talk about how eerie that feeling is, because you're not used to the Opry being quiet. Backstage isn't even ever quiet.
Right. I mean, sometimes there's more people backstage than there are even out here, and that's another change. And I was, the Opry audience has always been a little more reserved. Part of it is just the respect for the building and the way it's set up. But to walk out and have nobody applauding at all, and you want that feedback. It was very. Like we get finished with our song, and Ashley and Lauren and I were just like so proud of ourselves. Well, we didn't even rehearse this, and it was like we could finish the last note waiting for the cheering and the applause. And it was like, so anyway, for our next number, it's just it's a little bit of an awkward feeling, and then having cameras and TV and streaming, and it was definitely, I was really nervous for that, and I was hosting it too. So
wow.
A lot of pressure, but I'm glad I got to be a part of something that really, the Opry is the only show on earth that has never missed a week on the air. Like
4,944 Saturdays in a row tonight.
For 95 years.
I mean, and when they were showing the video, I mean, of the Opry has been through depressions and wars, and now here we are going through a world pandemic. It is a testament to what this circle means to not just us, but to y'all too. What country music really means to everybody.
Yeah, and the Opry's 95 years old, and I was talking about having more free time. I haven't done a show since March 1st. That was the last time I've been in front of a live audience, and it was with Pam Tillis and Susie Boggess out on the road. And after that, when all of this happened, I have a house that is up in Canada near I live in Nashville. That's my permanent residency, but I have a seasonal residence up in Canada on a lake, and I bought the place because it's close to my family. My grandmother, who was also 95 this year, is
that's amazing.
She's been in a nursing home for the last year, and she was just getting used to that. That's hard when you're living on your own, and then all of a sudden you're in a nursing home. Then the pandemic strikes. Then nobody can go in and see her. And she's an Alzheimer's patient. And, I went up there and I thought, is she going to remember me, And she did, but I said, God, I hope I can touch her and hug her. It was window visits, right, outside the window. And they deemed it possible for her primary caretakers, my dad and I, 2 weeks before I came back to Nashville, to take her out. So I got to be with my grandmother, and that makes me cry.
I know.
But these are things that, there are so many people that are isolated and alone and don't understand why, and so many people that have had to die alone. That's the saddest part.
It really is.
It's heartbreaking.
But it is, and it's funny you said that if they had told you in April when you were up here, you would have been like, are you kidding?
We'll be back in July.
Of course. That's what we all thought. I just saw a tweet that was like, here's to the 6-month anniversary of those 2 weeks that we thought it was all going to be done, I mean, who in the world could have seen this coming?
Yeah, and when I went to Canada, I had to quarantine. I mean, could not leave my property for 2 weeks. So I took a cooler of meat, made sure I had that.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, I mean, their laws are pretty strict up there about it. So, I quarantined for 2 weeks. But it's been a real eye-opening perspective check. I think when you chase a dream like this, you tend to put so much into it. And it carries so much weight in your life, which it does. My dreams coming true, it still astounds me, the things that have happened and I dreamed about when I was a little girl. And this, being a member of the Opry, is definitely the top of the heap for the dreams. But you don't expect something like this to happen. And I have found a new appreciation for hobbies. I'm catching some very large northern pike.
Yes.
Catching a lot of fish.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Just learning to kind of lean into what it is and go with it and enjoy the downtime, because things will get back to normal. But I've realized a little bit more about who I am without the hat on and who Terri is. And it's not that constant having to be on all the time and be ready to go and having the suitcase by the door. And my dogs have really appreciated this time very much.
Oh, I know. All of our doggos and all of the pets are super happy about it. But it will make us all appreciate and reappreciate getting back. And I hope that we learn that lesson, because it is so easy to forget when you get in the routine, and especially life on the road. I mean, you just kind of keep going and going and you don't even know where you are. But it is a beautiful thing to really appreciate. Not even having a full crowd. We just get a crowd at all. We're just happy, you know.
Nice.
We sure would love to hear you sing something.
Well, I can do something that I didn't do earlier. And I, like Vince, said he hasn't been doing a lot of singing. I probably picked up the guitar a dozen times in the last 3 or 4 months. And like I said, just been kind of doing some other things. I've been golfing very badly as well, but I'll do one that maybe you guys recognize. Last night we went to bed not talking, 'cause we'd already said too much. I faced the wall, you faced the window, bound and determined not to touch. We've been married 7 years now. Some days it feels like 41. I'm still mad at you this morning. Coffee's ready if you want some. I've been up since 5, thinking about me and you. And I've got to tell you the conclusion I've come to. I'll never leave, I'll never stray. My love for you will never change. But I ain't ready to make up or get around to that. I think I'm right, I think you're wrong. I'll probably give in before long. Please don't make me smile. I just wanna be mad for a while. Now you might as well forget it. Don't run your fingers through my hair. Yeah, that's right, I'm being stubborn. No, I don't want to go back upstairs. I'm gonna leave for work without a goodbye kiss. But as I'm driving off, well, you can kiss this. I'll never leave, I'll never stray. My love for you will never change. But I ain't ready to make up or get around to that. I think I'm right, I think you're wrong. I'll probably give in before long. Please don't make me smile. I just wanna be mad for a while. I'll never leave, I'll never stray. My love for you will never change. But I ain't ready to make up or get around to that. I think I'm right, I know you're wrong. I'll probably give in before long. Please don't make me smile. I just wanna be mad for a while. 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 Thank you. Oh, it feels so good to say thank you. I can say thank you for... Wow. Now you're going to make me cry.
Ain't nobody out there would ever think that she ain't been sitting around every single day still playing and singing, because you sound fabulous.
Thank you. A few bonfire parties where I was playing songs I don't know.
Just like Vince tonight.
Yeah.
Amazing. We got to talk about your Christmas album. I'm so excited about this. Is this your first Christmas album?
Yes.
What?
I know. And the Oak Ridge Boys have like volume 8 coming out next year, I think.
No
Take some
surprise.
hints from them. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Christmas fan. I love the season. I love the music. I love everything about it. I mean, I will start playing my Christmas music the day after the turkey's done, Thanksgiving night, and decking the halls and all that stuff. So but there's so much great Christmas music out there, because I've listened to it on a loop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, what am I going to put out there that hasn't been done really well so many times? I mean, Lori Morgan's Christmas album was my mother's favorite Christmas album.
Yeah.
It's so good. Orchestras and lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And everything. And I thought, how am I going to? And my manager said, it's time for a Christmas album. You're not going to be able to avoid this much. I had like stage fright about a Christmas album. So I woke up one morning and I knew I had to make a Christmas album, and I wanted to make one, but how could I do something a little different? And the Time Jumpers, who are very well known locally in Nashville and in a lot of other ways nationally and internationally, are a group of musicians of which Vince Gill is a part of, who played weekly, and hopefully will again at 3rd and Lindsley. And they have the most organic retro. It takes you right back to like 1955. You could swear you were sitting in a honky-tonk in 1955. And they're
Absolutely.
Such talented arrangers, musicians. They play everything from jazz to Western swing they've got it all. And I thought, I'm going to ask them if they will play on the whole record and collaborate and make this whole album with me. And they said yes, they would. So they came in and we tracked the album. It was 2 years in the making. We tracked it.
2 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
We tracked the album, so meaning we got all the music parts done and the songs tracked, and then we stopped because my summer touring schedule, this was April, my summer touring was really, really busy. And I didn't want to go in and be vocally beat up. I knew that a Christmas album, I think you have to treat the vocals a little bit differently. So I'm still me, but a little less me on these tracks. So, but it gave me time to think about collaborators, and Vince and Dirks are both on the album. Pam Tillis and Susie Boggess are on the album. The Oak Ridge Boys are on the album. I have amazing guests singing with me on this. Ricky Skaggs, another Opry member. So it gave us time to put that together too.
And you produced the whole thing too.
Yeah, I mean, and I think a producer is sort of a delegator and somebody who can put together a project and knows what engineer to hire to mix and where to do vocals. And, it's about knowing who to hire to help you put the best project together that you can. So I did that. But getting the Time Jumpers in there, it produced itself.
And a lot of people will say, too, that the best producers in town are the ones that know what musicians to hire. And so you got that done with the Time Jumpers. I mean, that's amazing.
They gave it such a classic sound. I love the Vince Guaraldi Christmas record, right? Vince Guaraldi Trio.
Yes.
I wanted it to have overtones of that. And they gave it that. It just sounds like it could have been made in 1950. It's got that sound.
Those are my favorite Christmas albums, too, because to me, in Christmas music, you want to be transported back into another time, because so much of the music that we know and love is that way. So it's funny to me, though, that you felt nervous about it, because one of the great things that I think happens with Christmas records is that in some ways the pressure's off, because people already know and love these songs. And you know that you've got so many fans out there that just want to hear your version of it,
Well, that's true. A lot of people know the song, so it is. I get it, but you also want a song that's been done,
right, a million times. Yeah,
million times. How do I do something? But you know what? I stopped thinking that way. I had to kind of make it like my fans would probably like this, and And maybe I can make some new fans that don't have my other records. You just never know when they're going to be at somebody's house and hear it and say, I want to get that. I like that Christmas album. You don't know.
I feel like that tells me what I need to know about your Christmas album too, because I'm like you. I get very protective of Christmas music because it is so special. And so the fact that you were that concerned about it, I think says a lot about what your album sounds like. And you have a special edition copy, right, that's on vinyl?
Yes, and the vinyl is green.
Of course.
It's really cool. And you know, what's so great is when we were looking through ideas for artwork and stuff, my management company said, do you have any pictures of you when you were little? And I found a picture. It was like a Kodachrome looking shot of me at 18 months old or 2 years old. And I had all my Christmas stuff that I'd unwrapped, and I was chewing on the end of a toy phone, which looked like a real phone, and not an iPhone, and it had a dial on it. Remember those?
Yeah.
Rotary.
Rotor.
And so, but what I didn't notice is that I lost my mom in 2010 to cancer, and she was 60 years old. She was very young. We were really close, and so Christmas has been, a struggle a little bit every year since then, but they called me from the management company, and they said, did you look at the back of that picture before you sent it over here? And I said, no. And they took a picture, and they said, it says, Terri, Christmas, 1969, and it was my mom's handwriting. So I was like, no, I didn't see that. And so they copied that and put it right above my photo on the back of the album, which is, it means so much to me to have my mom's handwriting on this album. And,
absolutely.
Christmas memories you associate with your parents so much, so it meant a lot.
Yeah, that is so special. Well, okay, let's do a little Christmas lightning round here. All right.
No.
No, it's really easy. Real tree or fake tree?
Okay.
Oh, she got something to say.
This is a debate. This has been a debate in my life. Okay, my mother taught me fake tree because real ones are messy and dangerous, and they're messy and a little bit dangerous. I love the smell of them, but you got to water them, So anyway, I do the fake tree that already has the lights. They look real now.
I love that.
No, sorry. They look real now. You can't tell the difference.
They do. They keep getting better and better, too.
They do.
Okay, so with lights, are you more of like the all-white Christmas lights or the colored bulbs? Oh, you like the all-white.
Yeah,
okay,
like
so on your
like
house, are you doing the icicles or just the straight-up lights?
But the tiny fairy lights, the little ones. But
Ooh.
I don't like them to be white, like LED white. They have to have that soft yellow, the traditional sort of Edison sort of look, like these lights
sparkle.
in here.
Oh, yeah,
Those are pretty.
like the
I'll take
Opry
those home.
lights. Awesome. Well, I would imagine that you're a snow girl since you were born in Canada. Yeah, that's one thing. I'm the really annoying Tennessean that anywhere I go, like when I lived in Boston for a few years, I would get so excited every time it snowed, and everybody would be like, why are you excited about this? I'm like, because I'm from Middle Tennessee, and we don't get enough snow down here.
Isn't that funny how people, I grew up plugging in the car so that it would start in the morning, a core heater in the engine.
What's your favorite Christmas ornament? Either it can be something that you had as a child or something now.
Oh, my goodness.
I know, try to pick one.
My mom gave me a Christmas ornament, right? But with the Christmas before she passed away, it's crystal and it's a heart and it said for my daughter in it. And it's just a beautiful little poem. And that's my favorite one. I cherish that one. It would kill me if something happened to that.
Yeah. Fruitcake. Ho, 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 or no? No. Okay. I'm with you on that one. No.
Fruit does not belong in a cake. It belongs in a bowl on the counter, and then you grab an apple when you want it.
Well, I want to talk a little bit, too, about your invitation to be on the Opry, because I know that included your mother as well, which is or to be an Opry member.
Yes.
Tell us what that was like, because was it a surprise to you?
I was in absolute utter shock because she had been in Nashville. She would come to Nashville every fall and spend Thanksgiving here and see my nieces, and they would kind of take over my house. There were the pitter-patter of little feet, or they actually sounded like a herd of baby elephants most of the time. And now they're in their early 20s, mid-20s, and grown. But my mom would come to town, and the nieces would be over. We'd have Thanksgiving. We'd see all the friends, and she would spend about a month here. So she had left, and she came down, 2 or 3 times a year from Canada. And she had just been here 2 weeks earlier and flown back in the whole, oh, I'm so sad, say goodbye, blah, blah. And the Opry called and apparently offered to fly her back. And I was playing that night, and Steve Warner walks out with my mother after a song. And I look over and I'm like, I thought I was seeing things. I'm like, what are you doing here? You just left. What are you doing here? And she said, well, the Opry brought me back. And she said she was hiding in a broom closet. They didn't want me to hear her talking to anybody or know that she was there. They put her in a broom closet. And she said, I kept hearing you walk back and forth. And I'm like, there's my daughter. And they walked out and had the sign that said, the date in June that I was going to be, inducted. And it was amazing. And then when that day came, it was Marty Stewart and his lovely wife, Connie, who are, to me, legends in country and legends of the Opry, and I'm so happy to see him being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
I know. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, and something about the Opry, the invitations to become a member, it's a surprise most of the time. And that's something that I think is so cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it is a surprise. We don't know. And
you just think you're doing a normal Opry show, right?
Yeah, it was, and when you see people's reactions, that is authentic, genuine, organic feelings right there, everybody. We don't know what's going on. And, I still can't believe that I get to do this. I honestly am waiting to wake up and, somebody pinch me because I can't believe that I'm a member of the Grand Ole Opry.
Well,
it blows me away still.
It is pretty incredible and a very well-deserved member. You've already had such an incredible career, and you work so hard, and you're out on the road so much connecting with your fans and everybody. And I'm really curious, I want to leave everybody with this. What is one of the things that has been the hardest for you to learn, but something that you've learned over these years?
Oh, that is a tough question because I've learned a lot of different things. I think the thing that I've learned is perspective. And when I started out, everything was end all be all. I chased it and I wanted it so bad. And I love what I do, but I feel like I've learned that people are actually rooting for you. They're not waiting for you to get up there and fall on your face. I'm not as nervous anymore. I feel like we're all friends. I feel like people are on my side when I walk out to play and sing. And I feel a little more relaxed. And there's just been a perspective gained about what's really important in life. And I will do this as long as I possibly can do it. But when I can't anymore, I will very gracefully hang it up and be okay. I'll be okay as a person. And how you treat people in your life matters more than how many gold records you have and how many awards you have. At the end of the day, nobody's going to remember that. They're going to remember how you made them feel. And to me, connecting with my fans and the way they connect with each other through my music, the way they come to shows and they gather together, and how much, for some reason, my music's been a catalyst for a lot of people that maybe don't feel so lonely anymore and that feel like they're part of something when they felt maybe alienated or they didn't belong. Those are the important lessons that I have learned and take with me, and those are the things that matter the most. It's not about me,
Yeah. Very, very well said. Amen to that. Wow. Miss Terri Clark, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Natalie.
I will tell you guys, also, just in addition, she's always like this. She is always this wonderful. I've run into her when I know you didn't even know who I was, and I was like, oh, I'm Natalie. It's nice to meet you. And she couldn't be more kind and more wonderful. It doesn't matter who the person is. It's just you're always like this. And we love you. We appreciate you so much. So happy that you're an Opry member. And thank you to all of you for joining us on this very special Opry Extras. We love having you in the room. And of course, to all of my live streamers that are out there, thank you once again for joining us on this very special Opry Extras. We will see you next time.